What would you do if the sky rained fire? Burning embers streaked across the heavens, leaving fleeting trails of smoke and ash. Below, people stood mesmerized, mouths agape, watching the divine spectacle above them. People prayed, they ran, they stared in awe, and then it ended. No explanation, no warning, just darkness. Ancient Greek and Roman accounts tell of how entire armies have been wiped out by fire raining from the sky. But is there any truth to these legends? What really happened that night in 1833? And is there a scientific explanation for this fiery apocalypse? They had seen wonders in the night sky before, but never anything like this. The world was ending. That much was clear. But how could this be happening? And what was going to happen next? It said that people were seen running through the streets, crying, "The world is on fire. The world is on fire." One witness later recalled, "I thought the Lord was angry and was going to destroy us all. I never expected to live to see another sunrise." Another said, "The very trees appeared to be illuminated by the glare and were quite distinct. I could have shot a cannon through the openings in their foliage." There are detailed descriptions of similar events in ancient Roman texts, including one particularly vivid account by philosopher Pliny the Younger, who wrote, "For 9 nights between November and December, people across the United States witnessed a meteor storm unlike any other. Some reports claimed over 100,000 meteors an hour." You heard me talk about how people thought the world was ending, but that's not all they imagined. They also believed that Jesus was returning. See, the year before the great meteor shower. William Miller, a self-proclaimed prophet, had predicted the second coming of Christ in 1843. Miller's followers, known as Millerites or Second Adventists, believed that the world would end on October 22, 1844. So when the great meteor shower occurred 9 months later, they were convinced it was the fulfillment of prophecy. In fact, many Millerites began to believe that Christ had already returned, but only his most devoted followers had witnessed the event. Those who didn't see the show were considered unworthy. By 1845, most Millerites had abandoned the movement, though beliefs in apocalyptic scenarios continued throughout the 20th century and beyond, while others put the number closer to 500,000. Comets are notoriously difficult to track because their orbits are unpredictable, and they only pass Earth's way every couple hundred years or so. But in 1826, a fragment of Comet Thatcher passed close enough to Earth for us to notice. It lit up the night sky and remained visible for months. Its icy vapor and dust burned up in our atmosphere, leaving behind glowing embers that glowed red-hot and streaked across the blackness of our night sky. What they all agree on is that the night sky was filled with a thick, dark smoke, and the air grew unnaturally hot. Reports from different regions varied wildly. Some witnesses described seeing bright white meteors, while others saw yellow, green, or even red. This could be because observers were looking at different parts of the sky, according to Thomas C. Van Flandern, an astronomer with the U.S. Naval Observatory. Different portions of the sky would have been affected by the debris field at different times, and what people saw depended on when they went outside to look up. We looked up at the sky. An endless shower of torches, red-hot and fiery, streaked across its vast expanse. All the earth seemed to be involved. In 1833, for 9 nights running, people across the American South and Midwest woke up to a sky on fire, stars falling by the thousands. Now known as the Great Meteor Shower or the Leonid Meteor Storm, this celestial event has echoed throughout history. Let's start with the timeline. According to historical records, the first reports of falling stars appeared in China as early as 09A. Fast forward a few thousand years, and we come to the year 1833. For weeks, newspapers chronicled the daily occurrences, each report more dramatic than the last. On November, the New York Gazette reported a continuous stream of fiery meteors, some as bright as the full moon, streaked across the sky leaving behind them sparks like the falling of 1,000 shooting stars. The Cincinnati Gazette of November reported that the atmosphere was so heated that the snow and ice in the trees immediately melted and ran down the branches in streams. But the most dramatic account came from the American Farmer, which reported that on the night of December, the whole heavens seemed to be on fire, the meteors burning and smoking as they passed through the atmosphere. Whatever happened that night left its mark on those who saw it. While many were frightened, others were exhilarated by what they saw, calling it the grandest, most magnificent, beautiful, and awful spectacle they had ever witnessed. So what actually happened? According to NASA, the fiery rain was most likely caused by debris from a comet passing through Earth's atmosphere. It's important to note that not everyone saw the same thing that night. Ultimately, the great meteor shower of 1833 reminds us of the awesome power of nature and the sometimes terrifying beauty of our universe. And now for your bonus hook.